Hello and welcome to flash highlights of stage 16 of this year's Giro d'Italia. First day back after the rest day and a stage entirely in Switzerland, exploring the beautiful Ticino region. Another tough finale to nearly 12 kilometres, that final climb to Carì. A first category climb that has before it 4 categorised climbs too. Jonas Vingegaard in the Maglia Rosa and heading out to his first proper test really in the leader's jersey. Afonso Eulálio in the Maglia Bianca of best young rider, also looking like he's enjoying his time. Still in second place to Jonas Vingegaard on GC, 2 minutes 26 down. Yadi Christian van der Lee, the Dutchman, very keen whilst wearing that King of the Mountains jersey, the Maglia Azzurra, to get into the breakaway and see if he can add points to it as well. Of course, it's Jonas Vingegaard who leads that classification on account of the summit finishes that he's already won 3 stages so far. Giulio Ciccone made his way into the breakaway, and for a very deliberate reason, to see if he could start taking more mountains points. He had a brilliant day out in terms of the mountains classification. And 2 riders, by the way, made it across to that breakaway. 2 very dangerous riders, of course. Jan Christen of UAE Team Emirates there, and his own teammate, of course, Jonathan Narvaez. Giulio Ciccone was trying to get the big 13-rider breakaway to work well together and ensure he'd always be in position to take more mountains points, which he did. He took the 9 points on top of Torre, then 18 on top of Leontica, and continued. In fact, Giulio Ciccone was obviously feeling very good on this day. A bit frustrated with the others that were in there, but he did get some good company. Jonathan Narvaez went with him, as did Chris Harper, who was looking very good on this stage. And behind, of course, it was the killer bees. Visma Lease bike pacing Jonas Vingegaard in the Maglia Rosa. Next, of course, came another climb of Torre. It was Giulio Ciccone. They were doing a couple of laps, by the way. You'll have noticed the same climbs again. 2 22-kilometre laps of the Rocca Bella circuit. This was back on Leontica again, the second category climb. Giulio Ciccone looking very dominant in that group for those points because he would take them again ahead of Ina Rubio, who was also moving up again in that Maglia Azzurra competition, the King of the Mountains classification. Diego Lisi was chasing at this point. He wasn't giving up on being back in touch with the front of the race, and their gap at this point, as Jonathan Narvaez took 12 points in Ludiano for the Maglia Ciclamino competition, their gap was the maximum it ever reached, about 2 minutes as well. So Jonathan Narvaez's reason for being there, I think, to get those 12 points in the Ciclamino competition. It took him back to within 2 points of Paul Magnier, and then he dropped off the breakaway. No need for him to stay in there either. But Giulio Ciccone thought likewise too. He was feeling brilliant today, but in the end thought, you know what, I've had enough of this. Left these 2 to it, Ina Rubio and Chris Harper, the survivors of that breakaway. Chris Harper took the 6 seconds in the Red Bull kilometre, Ina Rubio 4, and the 2 seconds would go to Filippo Magli, just in front of the remnants of the Visma Lease bike peloton there. And it was ominous, wasn't it? The Maglia Rosa just boiling up behind his teammates. Harper, stage winner last year at the Giro d'Italia, of course, looking really good. Someone who wasn't, though, was Giulio Pellizzari. He was getting dropped on the final climb to Carì as well. Not a good day for Giulio Pellizzari today. Another brilliant day for Victor Campenaerts, though, the Belgian former hour record holder. Another tricky day, though, for Afonso Eulálio, who was also losing time before and dropping out of second place on GC. This was 6.6k to go. Jonas Vingegaard in the Maglia Rosa attacking. Felix Gall looking like he could go with him, but then sitting down and thinking better of it. He would join this group, which was being paced by the deluxe paceman of Egan Bernal, working, of course, for his teammate Thymen Arensman. But in front of them, Jonas Vingegaard was on a romp in the mountains and was extending his lead. Derek G. West there, the Canadian champion, had a few problems but worked his way back in with that group too. He was battling well. And Jonas Vingegaard doing something he's never done before in a Grand Tour or any stage race, I believe, taking 4 stage wins. His best previously was 3, and here he is on debut in the Giro d'Italia in the Maglia Rosa and taking 4. An ominous, controlled but very dominant performance from Jonas Vingegaard. A 4th stage win and an extension of his lead in the Maglia Rosa. He is very much looking like the winner-elect of this 109th Giro d'Italia. But we have some way to go yet. Vincenzo Nibali stood next to him on the podium, would probably tell him that into his ear. Paul Magnier, still, of course, in Ciclamino, but only 2 points ahead of Jonathan Narvaez. Jonas Vingegaard, definitely the best climber in the race. He, of course, leads that competition, but it'll be Giulio Ciccone who wears the Maglia Azzurra tomorrow. Afonso Eulálio, still the best young rider. Join us tomorrow because the stage will be almost twice as long.